Hey, amazing people. Well, I would like to share this with my page and with my group that I would also like to invite you to. Janine here. As a mindset alchemist, I help you understand the way the chemistry between your thoughts and your words and your actions work together. So that guess what? You can move further, you can move faster, and you can absolutely understand who you are and why what is happening in your life can possibly potentially be happening. Let's see. Share now, public. Share to your story. How shall we share this, people? Tell me. Let us share in a group. Optimal awareness for driven entrepreneurs is where I would like to invite you to, because we're going to be doing lots of fun things in there. And when I read the energy of the week, oh my goodness, it was so aligned. Imagine that. I also came to understand why they've been saying to me since about November last year, the winds of change are coming. Imagine this. A lot of things are becoming clearer and much more definite. So tell me, what have you been experiencing? Where have you been experiencing it, and how has it made you feel? What has been coming up for you, and how has it been coming up for you? Because that, people, is the point of this week. Where are the recurring things happening? How are they happening? And what are they happening for? Have you gone and looked into that and explored that and seen the reason why things could potentially be happening? Okay, we've invited everybody. Let me put my specs on. Let me put my psychic on, and let's go. This is what's going to make life flow. Remember, that's what's important this week. Every morning you wake up, you say to yourself 10 times, all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. And as you are prepared to do that, things will unfold. You're being asked to put on your cloak, pick up your staff, place your feet on the pathway of destiny, and start stepping out. And this is to discover who you are, while the cloak is there to keep you almost like warm and safe so that you don't feel threatened as you move forward. The staff is the support. So who can support you in life? Where can you support yourself in life? And when are you going to start doing this? Have you started already? I know for me, I have already. You are being called to greatness. You are being called. Hi, Melanie and Rebecca, how are you? You are being called to own your greatness, to look into your greatness and discover your greatness. We've been doing this the whole of April, so the theme is really not changing that much. However, you are being asked to more and more own it and allow it in. Prayer, reflection, meditation, journaling, and awareness are huge keys. They always are. But this week you are really being asked to own it. Hey, Andrea, how are you? And now is the time to bring those plans you've been planning into physical reality. You're also being asked to be tolerant of yourself, situations, and people. You're being asked to show restraint and to forgive yourself for past actions that actually really have no bearing now, except for you to say bye bye. And you'll see why when I carry on. You are also being asked to be very open to infinite and divine intelligence and learn how to communicate with your inner self, your higher self, and that self that actually is going to give you that beautiful guidance that you personally need, while the general energy helps you move forward. And you're being very much asked to look again, because remember last week you were asked this week you're being asked again to look at the recurring themes in your life. Where are you saying the same things? Where are you doing the same things? Where are the same constraints, the same challenges coming forward? Where are the same patterns coming forward that you don't like? You don't want to stay there, because you are actually being asked to look at them and say, okay, what do I get from you that I'm want to keep, that I'm choosing to keep you in my life and keep repeating the cycle over and over? What are you giving me? What hormonal response of adrenaline or of fear or of grief or of guilt are you bringing into my life that I'm hanging on to, that I'm not releasing? Where does having no money keep recurring in your life? Where are you being asked to clear this and step forward and step into faith, taking that cloak of protection, that staff of wisdom and of knowledge, and step forward onto that path of turning these cycles around? You can't turn something around if you don't recognize it. And that's why since November, we've actually been asked to identify this. Where do you have habits that are keeping you stuck? Habits of criticizing yourself and others, habits of judging yourself and others, habits of judging your actions and the actions of others, habits of looking at others and comparing yourself. No, no, no. You're being handed a blank slate, a void for you to fill, a vacuum that you are being asked to draw into what you desire to create. This has been the energy of April, and it's still, it's now, I wouldn't say it's intensifying, it's just asking for attention. And you are being asked, forgive yourself. Let go of unhelpful beliefs, nobody says they're right, nobody says they're wrong. They're just not helping you move forward with your passion, your purpose, and your destiny. You are being asked to let go of those behaviors, those learned responses. For me, something that I've been working on and really came to the forefront has been no. When somebody asks me something, my first, even if I mean yes, I say no. I'll say, no, you're quite correct. Well, then why am I saying no? What am I saying no to? Who am I saying no to? And it has taken an interesting amount of time to catch myself in that habit and start saying, oh, that's an interesting point of view. Let's examine it. Let's explore it. Let's see the options. Let's see the possibilities and see how we can do this. Another learned behavior has been, I have to do things like this and this and this. Well, guess what? Who said that? My mom's dead. Why am I carrying on by mimicking what she did when it's not serving me? This is a time, people, since about October last year, I have been channeling. The winds of change are coming. The winds of creation are here. The winds of change are coming. Well, guess what? They are here. And it's stepping forward with ease and joy and glory into that change, opening your heart space to it and working and walking in heart-centered thoughts, feelings, and actions. Because remember, everybody thinks the heart is giving out. No, it's not. The heart takes in energy and processes it, just as you take in energy and you bring it down into your heart and you work with it. Well, this week you are going to be given divine guidance. You are going to have awareness from people around you that you are going to bring into your heart. See where it aligns with you, see where it aligns with your destiny, who you are and where you are going. And you are being asked to let go of old habits that are saying, oh no, I couldn't possibly, darling, just not on this day. And I know that's a habit I've been working with for quite an extended period of time. I'm so glad I'm getting somewhere with it. Notice where you are limiting yourself with your thoughts, limiting yourself with your actions, and limiting self with your beliefs. Something came up for me last week that I'd like to share with you because it's very relevant. When it came up, I thought to myself, that's interesting. I'm sure this is going to come up in the energy of the week. I've been working on who I am, who I'd like to be, and where I'd like to go, all in alignment with this energy of going within, because so within, so without, as below, so above. And when it came forward that somebody had said to me, and I am saying now, a good 20 years ago, stop telling me what you're going to achieve. You make me feel inadequate, and that's really bad of you. And because she was a very dear and good friend, I started playing small. I stopped sharing my dreams. I stopped sharing my purposes. And then things happened with people in my family, so I stopped sharing again, because after all, I don't want to be the bad person. I don't want to make them feel bad. The healer in me rose up to the fore, and instead of owning who I am, I started trying to heal them through making myself small. Where are you doing that? When this revelation came forward, I pot and popped the lot and said, wherever I'm playing small, well, let me tell you, that opened an avalanche on Friday and Saturday that I actually thought I was going to have a heart attack. I was taking in so much energy into my heart. And I reached out to various people for help, and they helped me walk through it. So if things like that start happening, don't get a fright. Breathe, stop, ground yourself, get into nature. That is so vitally important. I know I mentioned it last week. This week I'm stressing it. Even if you have to get a pot plant and shove your fingers in the pot plant just to ground with the ground. Also, earthing is good, so get a piece of mat, or even if you buy cat's litter and stand on it, potting soil and stand on it. Earthing and grounding this week is very, very important. You are also being asked this week to cherish yourself, to be true to who you are. Now, if you haven't examined who you are and who you think you are, and you being the person your parents, your teachers, your partner are choosing you to be, how can you be true to something that is not who you are? And that is where the heartache comes in, the disconnect comes in, and that is what we are being asked to sort out, to solve and resolve this week. Understanding who we are, what our dreams are, what our goals are, because the energy is absolutely supportive of you, breaking bad habits, not allowing people to dictate to you of who they think you should be, and to move forward. Please, people, very urgent. Do it slowly and urgently. Does that make sense? No, energy doesn't normally. Go and look and see where your desires, you're shoving them under the rug and then tripping over the lump in the carpet in the middle of the parlor, because that's what's happening. You're shoving your desires to one side for others, for governments, for people, for suppositions, prepositions, and posititions, and you don't need to do that anymore. It's not a requirement. The requirement here is, what do you desire? Do you desire to sit down with a cup of tea and a good book? Do it, even if it's only for 10 minutes. Nobody says it's got to be days and hours. It's just to acknowledge yourself. Acknowledge, wow, that's a beautiful feeling. When can I schedule it in my diary? When can I schedule it into my schedule? Give yourself something back this week. Cherish yourself. Be true to you. And fill yourself up first. I'm going back to that analogy of the now grounded aeroplanes, that they tell you to put your oxygen mask on first, otherwise you can't help anybody. Moms who keep running themselves ragged eventually start taking it out on their children. Meanwhile, they're trying to take care of their children, they're running themselves ragged, they've got no energy left over to take care of the children, because they haven't been taking care of themselves, they haven't been taking care of business, and they haven't been taking care of business. Does that make sense? So ladies and gentlemen and children, and I don't care what profession you're in, it's to stop, deep breath in, long slow breath out, feel your energy going down into the middle of the earth, bring back that loving, incredible energy and flow it up and out and around yourself this week as you take care of you. For myself, I had plans to run around my garden. My garden's 700 meters, and I was planning on doing at least an hour. And this morning I tuned into my body, and my body said, nope, but I would like to. I don't want to get fat again. Body said, nope. Well, what would you like to do, body? Tai Chi. So guess what? I had a video of a Tai Chi instructor that I always used to use until I started going to gym and until I started doing yoga with my daughter. And so I went onto YouTube, I looked this gentleman up, and I had the most amazing half an hour session. People, my legs were shaking worse than if I had run around the garden for an hour, because that is what my body asked for. Why am I sharing this? Tune into your body, tune into your spirit this week and say, hey, body, what energy, space, choice, consciousness, magic, and mystical moments do you desire to be this week? Should we do this business, this proposition that's coming forward? Is it in alignment with us? Isn't it in line with it? Hey, business, should we do this week? How should we do this? Hey, income, work, job, what is coming forward for us at this moment in time. Tune into yourself. That is self-care and that is self-love. Yes, I agree, Andrea. It is so important to have our desires met. And this week we are being asked really to focus on that and to put ourselves first. Thank you for sharing that. It resonates, because seriously, this is very, very important this week. You're also being told with your emotions this week, as within, so without. Well, I'm going to twist that around and say, so without, so within. Stop and ask yourself this week, whose is this? As it feels lighter, return to sender with consciousness. Return to Mother Earth to be transmuted back to yourself and the sender's love and peace and joy. Especially if it's fear-based, anger, grief, sorrow. Yes, you own it, you acknowledge it. You can go and throw all the cups you want. You can sob into your hanky. That's great. Don't stay there, because it may not be yours. However, you can release pressure for yourself and release pressure for somebody else. Don't stay there. Send the emotion down to Mother Earth, asking her to help you to transmute it, which means to shift it and change it to something else, and bring it back up for yourself and share it into the collective consciousness. That is the contribution you can make and be this week to the energy, to help support others and be with others. And in turn, it helps to clear your fears. It helps you to understand your doubts, and it helps you to step forward into who you are, not and who you be, not who others desire you to be. It helps you to step into authenticity, is the word they're giving me. Authenticity. And it comes through self-love, self-care, and hearing, listening, tapping in and grounding yourself. We're being asked to recharge in nature. Like I say, even if you have to order in a bag of potting soil and stand on it, or get Epsom salts and bath in it, grounding and earthing are very important. And no, they're not the same thing at all. So if you'd like to know more about that, pop me a DM and I'll send you a freemium I've got on that. There's peace in silence. And when I heard this, I went, okay, define that. What do you mean by peace in silence? Peace is when you are aligned with yourself. Peace is when you are aligned with the Creator. Peace is when you are aligned with your purpose, the correct current path that you should be on. Chaos is not wrong. You create from chaos. However, it's to have the chaos stop and come into a peaceful silence within yourself, so that you are able to hear what to create from that chaos. So you can hear what to do to take care of yourself, so that you are enabled and empowered to take care of those around you, or even if you should be taking care of those around you. Does that make sense? Please make a comment and let me know if this is resonating, if you're understanding. And if you have any questions, just tag me, Janine Kathleen, and I will come back and I will answer them for you. Very much also from an emotional perspective, you are being asked to reconnect with your spirit through nature, through meditation, through just having 10 minutes of silence, 10 minutes of breathing. You don't have to do, even if just it's one deep breath, and having that complete and absolute silence, that you can actually feel the earth. You can hear the birds. You can actually feel, hear, sense, experience the butterfly's wings. That is the energy of this week. That is how fine-tuned our awareness is being called to be this week. And we are being asked to keep our emotions in a place of healing, and a place of awareness, and a place of creating. We are being asked to dance, to sing, and to allow creativity, even if it means picking up a pen and drawing spirals on a book. That is how we are being asked to be creative. Even if you have to pick up your book and just draw hearts. Oh, that's not a very good heart. That's a back. Draw hearts. Draw lots and lots of hearts. Allow that movement and that creation to be there. If you color in, because that is going to bring in the voice of the divine, bring in the voice of your higher self, to give you an understanding of where you're being asked to create income, how you're being asked to create it, where you are being asked to add something positive and uplifting to yourself, and thus the collective consciousness. It's to remain in that state of breathing and healing and creating this week, that is going to empower you to move forward and those around you. Dance, sing, chant, say your mantras, and bring in healing. Movement is so important. Find a YouTube video and do it. Even if you sit in your chair and you just go boom, 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 boom. And if you can't do that, even if you're just doing this and you're moving your feet, move your feet, you're being asked to move this week, because as you move in the physical, so you will begin, and as you have your silence, you'll begin moving in the spiritual and the internal. And that is what's going to help you. The word survival comes to mind. That's how you're going to cope with the energies and survival. And so that you go from surviving to thriving, because that's what the energy of this week is. It's asking you to acknowledge that you can and you are supported to create a surrounding of thriving. It starts here in our thoughts, it starts in our heart, it's followed by our mouths, and the energy supports you to thrive, knowing that you are always taken care of. I was dancing around the garden as part of my grounding, saying, I'm always taken care of, I'm always taken care of. And I saw my neighbor like peeking around the gate. Oh well, maybe I don't mind that they think I'm not quite all there. You are being asked to embrace change. This is a time to start anew, start afresh. They are big. I have been saying this since November. So people, you see what's happening now. They are huge, humongous, gale force winds of change coming. They've been coming since November. I remember saying in November, December, oh my goodness, I'm only getting a glimpse of the energy of next year. Well, people, that energy is now walking in the door. And you are being asked to embrace the change. And what will happen is the winds will bless you and carry you with them. Resist, and you're going to be hanging onto a flagpole with your legs flying and flapping in the breeze as the winds try and take you with. Remember last week I said it's to step out of our comfort zone, step into the new. Well, the winds of change are blowing us out of our comfort zones, and we are seriously being asked to embrace the changes coming. See it as neither right nor wrong, just as is, and ask where you can use it to create the life you desire to live, to have, so that you can have the income and the beingness of who you can be. We are born new each day. Leave the past behind. Stay in the present this week, consciously, with awareness. This is so vitally, vitally important. There are very exciting times ahead, and you can either see them as, oh, there's new times ahead, or you can say, okay, what's next? What can I create now? Who can I create it with? Who should I create it with? Oh, myself. Oh, that person. Oh, okay, who am I co-creating with? And it's to stop, have that moment of awareness, silence, grounding, thriving, and ask, is this for me? Is this for now? Is this for later? What am I creating that will bring thriving? And that is the energy supporting you. Celebrate the now. Celebrate being in the moment. Celebrate being who you can be and who you choose to be. Because through celebrating that, you will work with the wind instead of trying to hang on as it's blowing you free. Because no matter what, you're not stronger than that wind of change. It's going to move you no matter what you think, say, or choose. So choose to go with it. Choose to flow into your destiny. Why do you want to paddle upstream when you could flow downstream and flow with ease and with joy and with glory and with gratitude? Leaving yesterday behind, creating yourself every single day anew. When you do this, when you celebrate the now in every second, remember, there's no good, there's no bad, it's just energy. Sounds so good, it's just energy. Yes, people, by doing so, you will be bringing in a colorful and a really bright future into your present and into your future. Any comments? Pop them below. Any questions? Pop them below. Remember, this week is bringing you the energy to go into creating and thriving instead of surviving and crying. It's a choice. It's always a choice. If you didn't like what you had yesterday, create a new reality for yourself, for your loved ones today. And by doing so, you work with that energy, you work in flow, and guess what? What you choose will come to you with ease, with joy, and with glory. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, oh, you're just saying it's going to happen. It will happen as you pick up the aligned actions to take, because as always, yes, things can come for free. However, you've done work somewhere else effortlessly. And that is the bottom line. So work with the flow. Did you hear that? Work with the flow. Do what is required. Step into what you are being asked. Put on that cloak of protection. Take up that staff of wisdom and glow this week. Glow with a peaceful harmony of grounding yourself and being free. Bye-bye.